I wasn't there for my daughter. And she may expose me on one of these podcasts one day and say, Daddy, you're the reason I can't find good black love because you never validated me as a woman.
How long have you known Umar was your dad? All my life. I always knew that was. I think a lot of people think that I just found this out. I knew that was my dad since birth. So this is nothing new. I've been new, y'all. And he always knew I was his daughter. Exactly. He keep bringing up child support. I don't give a fuck about child support. You was never there. Money means nothing to me. You was never there. And that's the point I was trying to make. But his return to whatever he want to hear. Does your mom hate him too? Of course she do. Because he put his fucking hands on her. What's wrong with him? He should be in fucking jail. Like, really, he should be in jail. Like, I'm not even joking with y'all right now. It's a lot about him that y'all don't know. He's a crazy, sick man. So he's a woman abuser? Yes, he is. And a liar, and a hypocrite. Yeah, all those things. Yeah, she left him. And then this man got on the internet and said, my mom wanted to marry him. That's a lie. That's a lie. Why would my mom want to marry somebody that put his fucking hands on her? This man is a fucking liar. And I can't stand him.
Family is Providence. Thanks for tuning in. And a young woman named Nisa has hit the internet talking about how she is Dr. Umar Johnson's daughter. And her primary reason for making herself known is to expose the fact that Dr. Umar had not been in her life for her entire life. She's a young woman now in her early 20s. I believe she said she was 22 years old. And Dr. Umar has never really made any real effort to be in her life. And obviously, this has come to be a big shock for many, many people because Dr. Umar Johnson is always trying to uplift or claim to want to uplift or strengthen the black family. It's one of his primary reasons why he preaches against interracial relationships. It's to build up the black family. He wants to see the black family become economically strong and have a strong family structure with a black man and a black woman. And he continually shames black people when they date outside the race, particularly black men. He has his harshest words for, especially when they end up with white women. He's known for, in a very serious but also in a very comedic way, for bashing men who bunny hop, calling them all kinds of coons and traitors to the race and all this. And what we're supposed to gather from all of that is that Dr. Umar is going hard for the black family, and many of us thought that to be the case. Now, I always have thought that while I think that Dr. Umar really is serious about building up the black family, I think that preaching against interracial relationships is unnecessary at best, foolish at worst, because it's an impossibility. People of different races are going to get together and get married and make children, and the biracial children are beautiful. I feel like biracial children are a part of God's plan, just like single race children are a part of God's plan. All of it reflects the beauty, the diversity which the Creator has given to humanity. So I've always thought that this idea that interracial, relationships shouldn't happen is foolishness, to be honest with you. But I understand that there is something special about black love. As a black man, I do value and cherish black love. And I do think that the black community needs to refocus on building up strong families. So while there was some truth to what Dr. Umar was trying to get at, I think that his extreme positions on certain things, the shaming of black people that end up in interracial relationships, to me was just foolish and unnecessary. I've often said that Umar Johnson is a black supremacist. I don't even know if he would dispute that, right? And I feel like black supremacy should be rejected, as should white supremacy. And I think that we should be moving towards racial harmony and unity in every way. And I don't think that interracial relationships are problematic unless you genuinely despise people of your own race and are chasing people outside of your race because you despise the people in your own race. Like when black men talk down on black women, or black women talk down on black men and decide that they're going to go chase people in other races because of it, I find that to be problematic. But as long as you have a genuine love and respect for people within your own race and you end up with someone outside the race, I don't think you should be shamed for that, right? But in any case, Dr. Umar Johnson has become popular for his views. And so it was very shocking to find out that a man who has preached the empowerment of black women and have chastised black men for, in his view, rejecting black women. And every time you deal with a woman outside of the race, you are by default being disloyal to black women. According to Dr. Umar Johnson, he's made his position on this very clear. It is now shocking to find out that he has a black woman who is his daughter that he has not cared for, that he has not provided any love for. And so it just seems very contradictory, very hypocritical. And I don't know, to be honest with you, a lot of people are shocked, but I can't really say that I am. Dr. Umar Johnson is somebody that has always kind of been a little bit shady to me. I mean, we're still waiting on the school that he said he was going to build. He's been collecting funds for that for how many years now? We still ain't seen it. And I don't see evidence from him of a strong family structure. Is he married? Does he, where's the evidence of a strong, loyal foundation of a black family from Dr. Umar? That's never been presented to me. Dr. Umar has always been, for me, someone who just talks a good talk. And the thing that's frustrating to me is that I'll hear him be very critical of people of different belief systems. As a Christian, he's always disrespected my faith, the Christian religion, called out what he sees as hypocrisy in the church, and presented his view and Pan-Africanism as a superior way of thinking than Christianity, and called out the hypocrisy he sees in pastors and things of that nature. And yes, obviously there are pastors who are hypocrites, but if you claim to be better, we better not see no hypocrisy in you, right? And so he seems to be no better than all of the Christian pastors and the churches that he seems to want to call out for their hypocrisy, right? Because now you have a black woman who is going to probably have resentment for black men because you haven't been in her life. What if she grows up and ends up with a white man? Right? I mean, it would be incredible if Dr. Umar Johnson's daughter ended up with a white man because, well, she didn't receive black love from her father, who should have been the first one to show love to his daughter. Now, what seems to be even more troubling is that she is alleging that her mother doesn't like Dr. Umar either because Dr. Umar used to put hands on her. So to find out that Dr. Umar is not only a deadbeat, but potentially an abuser is horrific, because we can't preach about the empowerment of women, yet abandon them and abuse them, and at the same time talk about we need to be loyal to them. This is horrific. And I have no reason to believe that this young woman is lying. Dr. Umar Johnson has claimed this woman as his daughter. He left several statements on his social media page that acknowledge that she is his daughter. I mean, he's claimed that she's reached out occasionally and nothing was ever solidified when they were attempting to meet. So he's basically putting the blame on her that their relationship isn't strong. But in my opinion, it's always the onus of the father to make sure that he can enter into a relationship with his child. The child has less agency. You as a man have full agency. You should be pressing in to meet and love on your children. This is my opinion, and maybe this is an oversimplification, right? But I feel like nothing should keep you from your children as a man. Nothing. Even a woman, even a difficult woman, even a woman that you might have to go through legal hoops in order to solidify a relationship with your children. Do not stop. It might even take you until the child is 18 and an adult, or whatever it takes. Don't stop until you enter into your child's life. This child shares your blood. This child shares your DNA. And this child is going to need the full nurture and nourishment of her or his father in their life. And so listen, man, I don't really have much respect for people who don't take care of their kids. If you know it's your kid and you don't want nothing to do with your kid, there's no excuse for that. To me, that's just a sign of your own comfort, your own need to preserve your own autonomy, and you're rejecting responsibility, and it leads to real hurt and real pain as far as I'm concerned. And so to hear that Dr. Umar preaches about the black family and shames black men, because here's the bottom line. I'm sure you have black men who are with white women and they have biracial kids, but those black men are stepping up to take care of their kids, doing more than Dr. Umar, who will shame black men for making children with white women, yet those black men who he would call a coon probably doing more to take care of their kids than Dr. Umar. So yes, this is very problematic. Dr. Umar needs to be called out on this. He needs to, people need to apply pressure to Dr. Umar to go take care of his kids. She's still a relatively young woman. Put all the beefing aside. I genuinely hope that they could put all the beefing aside, put all of this internet drama that they're wrapped up into. Yes, this is embarrassing and shameful, and people are calling her a clout chaser and all of that. But at the end of the day, her father is a public figure. And not only that, her father has made a living off of preaching a particular message that he's not been living consistent to. So she has every right, and she should come out and shame him and expose him and have society put pressure on him to live according to what he says he's going to do, what he says and what he calls other people to do, which is to love black women and build strong families. So I'm hoping that they can fight through this, that they can work through this, and that soon we hear of an update of them actually working together to restore what was broken and what was lost for this woman's young life up until this point. So thank you guys for listening. If you've enjoyed the video, please subscribe, like the video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.